Hey, what are you doing in here?
Just listening to records.
You're always in here with these records. What's on your mind?
You've done it all. You've broken every code. Pulled the rebel to the floor. You spoke the game, no matter what you say. The only metal, what's it all? Blue eyes, blue eyes.
Baby, I'm not thinking of anything. Let's talk about the iFi Audio Neo IDSD 2. So the unit itself is pretty simple, and I was going to do a very, kind of complex unboxing video talking about everything, but I decided to keep things simple. It comes with a remote, allows you to adjust volume and input and that sort of thing, and mute function and all that. It comes with the aptx power supply. That way you can, plug it in and obviously use it. The unit itself has obviously the screen, it has gain settings, has X bass and X pace, has your standard 1/4 inch as well as a 4.4 balanced, it has a volume knob. You can use it as a preamp in addition to just like a DAC. You can also use obviously the headphone amp. It's got power USB, which is 3.0, optical coax, which I didn't use. It's got a sync connector, which allows you to hook up an external clock. It's got an analog in, which is really, really cool. Balanced outs and obviously single-ended out. Very, very nice little unit. It does have this kind of design up here, which by the look of it, you would think, kind of the color, at least to me, you're thinking, well, that's got to light up or something, but it doesn't. It doesn't light up, although it would be kind of a neat design feature if it did. Supports 32, 768 up to DSD 512. Pretty full featured. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the unit itself. Let's go and talk about sound quality. So as far as sound quality, it's a lovely unit. It really truly is. My biggest impression I got from utilizing it as a DAC in terms of the USB or the optical in. I didn't use the coax, but in terms of those, two, and I assume the coax would effectively perform the same. I have no reservations for assuming that. But yeah, DSD sounds fantastic. I've got a lot of DSD files. I got a lot of DSD files, and it's a format I really enjoy. It's a format I enjoy listening to. I think it's very natural, very organic. And this, everywhere from DSD 64 to 128, all the way up to 512, it actually sounds immaculate. It sounds really, really good. And it has a fantastic way with DSD. And I think that's where iFi Audio really comes for me, is if you have a lot of DSD files, which I do, it really comes and really displays their best sonic attributes at its finest. That organic quality you get from DSD that makes it so appealing, this really highlights that and really makes it sound natural and exactly like what you expect. In terms of PCM, just standard PCM, obviously the better the quality of file you play, the better it sounds. 24.192 sounds better than 44.16. As you go up, it sounds better and better and better. And it does a great job with that. It really is probably one of the best DACs I've heard physically. But anyway, let's get on to its show-stopping feature. So the aptx lossless Bluetooth, which is effectively this product's standout feature. It is its sort of call to arms, its best feature that it has. It's one of the things that's kind of leading this product at this point. Okay, for a long time I've been using a Google Pixel 6a for my daily phone. For a long time I was an iPhone guy, and then a couple of years ago I upgraded and I had an iPhone 8 and I decided to upgrade and decided to move away from iPhone. Okay, and went to the Pixel 6a. It does LDAC, it does aptx HD, and this will recognize LDAC and aptx HD. It sounds fine. It sounds well enough. It sounds every bit as good as the highest quality Bluetooth that I've heard so far, which is the Nano i1, also from iFi Audio. But anyway, about 6 months ago, even before getting this, I wanted to get a new phone. So I ordered this phone, the Asus ZenFone 10, which coincidentally does have the Qualcomm Snapdragon Sound chip in it, which does enable aptx lossless. I didn't get it for that function. I got it because it's a great phone. It has top level specs, but in a small form factor, which I enjoy. I don't like the big honking phones. I never have. And that's the reason I got it. And it was a great phone. I ended up having an issue with the one I had, and had it long enough to test the aptx lossless, which I'll talk about. But I had an issue with that particular phone where it was disconnecting from the network, and every like 3 or 4 days it would just disconnect from the network, and you basically have to restart it and for it to connect to the network again. And obviously some sort of issue. I couldn't figure out what it is, tried carrier settings and all that kind of stuff like you might do, but the only way to do it would be to restart the phone, and then it would reconnect, and it would stay good for 2, 3, 4 days, and then it would do it again. So anyway, I sent it back, and unfortunately they didn't have a replacement in stock. So I just asked for a refund, and I just went back to using my Pixel 6a. Eventually I might get a Samsung or something, but for now. But anyway, I had it long enough to test the aptx lossless. And with the aptx lossless engaged and all of that, and that's the thing with aptx lossless, is you can't just have the receiver. You also have to have the transmitter, the phone, that's compatible with that. Okay, and for the most part, what I heard is near identical sound quality wise to what you'd expect from a CD. I went back and forth listening to the Blade Runner soundtrack. Believe it or not, I love this Vangelis kind of early 80s, late 70s, early 80s electronica, techno music. Vangelis does a fantastic service with this album, and listening to it with obviously the CD versus aptx lossless off the ZenFone 10, it was near identical. I honestly could not pick it out. If I were to switch to like the aptx HD or the LDAC, I could hear a bit of compression with the LDAC. Compression, kind of thinness in the mid-range, more like it's losing acoustic mass, but for the most part, the aptx lossless was every bit as great as they claim. But that leads me on to what I recommend it. And the answer to whether or not I would recommend it is probably no. It's a great DAC. It's a fantastic DAC. It's a fantastic preamp. I used it with my Emotiva power amp. I used it with a couple other power amps I've got. Used it with a whole bunch of stuff, and it sounds fantastic. It is worth the money they're charging for it. However, I would not buy it particularly strictly for the Bluetooth functionality, even though that is its main feature, its main reason for being, more or less. Now, over the older model, it does have greater output at the headphone jack. It's got some other features as well that make it better than the prior version. But I wouldn't necessarily get it for that. I would get it because it's a great DAC, but not for the Bluetooth. And the main reason being is because the Bluetooth at this moment, aptx lossless, is so infinitely niche. You have to have obviously this, but then you also have to have a particular phone that supports it. Either from Asus, they make their ROG line, the Zen line, the ZenFone 10, for example, what I had. I think the new S24 Ultra from Samsung supports it. You can forget about iPhone. iPhone, at this point, currently will never support Snapdragon Sound, never support aptx lossless. Apple loves their SBC codec for standard Bluetooth, which they assume works fine. Supposedly, I heard a rumor that they're working on something that's equivalent, but whatever that might be, who the heck knows. So yeah, you have to have very specific hardware to make that functionality work. And is it worth it? Not really. Not when, in my opinion, LDAC, aptx HD, which is a broader appeal in terms of usability and functionality, and all sorts of different phones and hardware and stuff support aptx HD, is good enough. I mean, we're talking, when I mentioned that the aptx lossless was better, it's absolutely microscopic how much better that it is. And this is such a, and it's like I said, it's such a niche product for that it's almost unusable by 90% of people. And 90% of people aren't going to buy this product, you know, at the $900 or $1,000 that it cost, and then turn around and buy a $700 or $800 or $900 or $1,000 phone just to utilize the Bluetooth. So in that aspect, it's really not worth it. But yeah, final thoughts. So overall, it's a great product. It's a great DAC. It's a great preamp, great headphone amp. It sounds great through all categories and all ways. And the build quality and everything is exactly what you'd expect from iFi audio. It gets my double thumb up, but I would not buy it for the Bluetooth. Anyway, peace out. Stay tuned. We got more videos coming up soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the intro video.